Hi, my name's Reid Neilson. I'm the editor of this book, Pushing and Pulling to Zion, and I'm a faculty member here at BYU. The purpose of this book was to answer a question or a call that President Dallin Oaks gave at the Mission President Seminar. He said, "We want you to encourage your missionaries to appreciate that life has always been difficult for missionaries, and to use church history to help them appreciate that things could be rougher, and to be grateful for their blessings as missionaries." Many of the books that have been written in the past on the Handcarts focus on the tragedy of the Willie and Martin Handcart companies. And this is the first book on the 8th Handcart Company, which came across in 1859. I wanted to tell the story for a general membership to help them appreciate that handcarts did exist before and after the Willie and Martin Handcart Company, and that there's incredible stories of valor and courage in those pages as well. The inspiration for this book came from a painting that hangs on the wall of my third cousin, Brent Pratt, in Potomac, Maryland. And this painting depicts our shared great-great-grandparents, William and Rachel Atkin, crossing the Green River in 1859. I decided I want to tell the story of how they got to the Green River, how they crossed it, and ultimately made it to Zion. I think this book continues to be important. The pioneer story continues to be relevant to Latter-day Saints in the 21st century, because sometimes I think it's easy to forget how difficult earlier saints had it, and so I think it's just important to keep a perspective on our church's history. As William Atkins said in his own reminiscent account, he and his family were willing to do anything, literally anything, to be able to gather with the saints in Zion and to listen to the words of a prophet. These were the people that believed in Christ along with them, and these were the prophets that could help guide and direct them to become better followers of Jesus Christ. Their testimony is literally in every footstep as they crossed the American desert, in the way that they treated each other, the way that they forgave each other, the way that they were kind to each other and strengthened each other. This is a very Christ-centered book through their actions. Their belief is exemplified in physical action. Sometimes we imagine that the entire pioneer experience was done in a vacuum. They were out in the trackless deserts of the American West. They didn't know where they were going, when in fact by 1859 was actually the busiest year in the history of westward immigration. And you find that there's little stores and blacksmith shops and settlements all along the way. The problem was they couldn't afford any of it. It wasn't so much a pioneer trail as it was a pioneer road, but that doesn't take away from still how difficult it was. To summarize this book in a sentence or two, I think I'd look to the title. It comes from a wonderful song they used to sing, "Some must push and some must pull as we go to Zion." And they'd sing this song, and that's why I gave the title Pushing and Pulling to Zion. And I'm just struck that my ancestors and many of our shared pioneer forebears were willing to do anything to get to Zion. I think that's a really, really neat message of the book.